Greetings, everyone. This is Jahid Farr, and I'm creating this video to talk about a topic that's dear to everyone, and that would be the purpose of eating food. What is the purpose of eating food? Okay, I will have to state in the onset of the video is that the purpose, the true purpose of eating food is to communicate with the body. That is the sole purpose of eating. When we eat food, we do not totally receive in the way it was taught vitamin A, vitamin C to the body. So as it was taught by a lot of the ancient healers, but also a lot of the modern holistic healers, one being Dr. Lalila Africa, he instructed and showed us that when you eat an apple, your body doesn't become the apple. So when you eat an apple containing vitamin A or any of the other nutrients, those nutrients do not become a part of your cells. The nutrients within those fruits or vegetables or meat or whatever you have, when you eat it, it's broken down and you receive the essence being a mist-like substance that goes into the circulatory system and then communicates with each and every one of the 50 trillion cells of the body or more. And it communicates and it tells the cells two things: to continue in the process that it performs or discontinue in the process that it performs. Okay, the body is a mass of cells. Okay, so you have different organs which are a mass of cells, and it's known that each particular organ has it has more vitamin mineral content in it than another may have. For example, the prostate, in which I talk about a lot, contains a lot more zinc than a lot of other organs in the body may contain. Okay, so if I'm eating food continuously that has zinc in it, that zinc doesn't become a part of my prostate. By me constantly eating foods that have zinc in it, I'm merely communicating to my body to continue to produce a healthy prostate. Because I'm eating this food, the zinc inside of the nutrients stimulates the zinc inside of my prostate cells to keep performing its duties of the male reproductive system. Okay, same thing with the woman's uterus, which is pretty much tied to magnesium, iron, and a few other minerals. And if a woman continues to eat different foods containing those minerals, then a healthy uterus will continue to be built, because cells go through a stage of breaking down and then rebuilding back up as new. And the more we consume foods that communicate and stimulate the nutrients that are within those organs, the more those organs will begin to be reborn and renewed. So again, to reiterate, the body does not become the nutrients we eat. The nutrients that we eat strictly stimulates the nutrients that are already within our body. I mean, we have to note that every vitamin, mineral, protein content that we consume is already in our body. So once we take note and understand that, it's clearer for us to know that when we consume food, it's strictly to communicate to the body that you should continue to do things or you should discontinue to do things. Okay, so to give a better example, to give a much more clear example of that, understanding the process of hypertrophy versus atrophy. And I know a lot of people, especially people who are in the fitness world, will understand this concept. Atrophy is strictly a degeneration of tissues, while hypertrophy is regeneration or constant building of tissue. Okay, now in terms of the way our body works, we have 5 different senses, and all of those senses are used for communication with the external environment. For example, we have the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, and touch. So we have sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. All of these different senses allow us to communicate with our environment to determine what things we should continue to build and what things we should discontinue to build. So for an example, if I'm in an environment where it's dark all the time, the muscles in my eyes that allows for dilation or constriction to adjust to light, if I'm not using those muscles over time, they will go through a phase of atrophy. Okay? Same thing with the hearing. If over time I always hear loud noises or loud music, over time the muscles in my ear that allows me to adjust and hear very slight and minute sounds will begin to atrophy. We can take it a step further and define hypertrophy with the physical body of feeling and touching. If I do a lot of bodybuilding, push-ups, sit-ups, things of that nature, you will see different muscles become very hypertrophy or grow more. And that's across the board. That's how the body works. It's no different for taste. So when you eat food, this part of communication allows your body to know what processes or what organs or what tissues to continue to build, and then what organs to discontinue to build. So again, when we eat food, food is broken down in the stomach, sent into the intestines, and when it's in the intestines, it's broken down to a mist-like substance. And the concept of mist is, if you ever went outside on a misty day, you could see the mist, and it'll feel moist outside, but you wouldn't be able to grasp it. It's really a real slight kind of substance. I mean, it's real minute. It's very small. It's very slight. So at that stage, when the food or the nutrient goes into the circulatory system, it's at a molecular level, and once it's inside of the circulatory system, it goes and it talks to the cells, and it asks the cells two things based off of the nutrient content. If I have zinc within the circulatory system and your cells are predominantly zinc, then I need you to continue to replenish and rebuild yourself. However, if I'm in the circulatory system and I only have zinc, I don't have vitamin C, I don't have magnesium, I don't have iron, I'll be telling other tissues within the cell, within the body, I will be communicating to them that they are less important, and thus atrophy will begin to set in with those cells. So again, the purpose of eating is to communicate with the body, using a term that I'm coining as cellular nutrient communication. Without cellular nutrient communication, different organs in the body would not regenerate themselves, because we are not stimulating them with the correct food. And this is why eating raw fruits and vegetables are so important, because most fruits and vegetables contain a vast array of different minerals, again, that doesn't become a part of our body, but it stimulates the vast majority of vitamins and nutrients and proteins within our body already. So if I'm eating a bunch of kale greens and lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, they're going to contain a whole array of magnesium, iron, zinc, vitamin A, vitamin B, whereas though all of the cells of your body are constantly being stimulated and engaged and instructed to continue to build themselves and not go through a stage of atrophy. Okay, that's very important. That's very key in understanding why we can consume food. Why do we eat food? Again, it's for communication purposes. among anything else. Then in saying that, we can ask the question, then how do people become fat? So if I eat a food and this food doesn't become a part of me, it just gives me the essence, then how do people become fat? How do people become obese? Well, just like the cells in your body are predominantly be predominantly vitamin A, vitamin C, protein, etc., there are also cells in your body who are predominantly fat, and they are called adipose tissue. So the nutrient, the macronutrient fat, at a molecular level still has that structure. So when it goes throughout the body, it reaches those cells who are predominantly fat orientated, and it instructs those cells to go through a stage of hypertrophy to continue to build. I need you to continue to build these fat cells. This is why I'm constantly eating this fat food. So that's how we communicate to the body. When we're eating foods, we're telling the body what to continue to do or what to discontinue to do. I think that's very, very important. Also for answering the question of disease, okay? Disease of the body. Again, if you're eating food and you may be eating food in the wrong combinations, meaning you're eating a lot of proteins, which is meat, with a lot of starches such as bread, and you're always combining those foods, and they're stuck inside of the intestines. When stuck inside of the intestines, it can permeate through the intestine wall directly into the bloodstream, bypass the checkpoint of the liver. Excuse me, because the liver is the checkpoint that takes out a lot of the waste that goes into our body, or that is supposed to go into our body. But when we're consuming foods in a non-proper combination, then they sit in the intestines for a long time, and that waste changes into that essence that I spoke about. And then when it's in that mist form, it can permeate, which is just like a transfer out of the, or pass through out of the intestines directly into the bloodstream. And this is where the arthritis comes into play, the rheumatism, the carpal tunnel, the fibromyalgia, the gout in the feet, and so many other diseases. This is where the plaque buildup inside of the veins and arteries come from, by that waste being able to permeate at a mist level into our circulatory system, and then depositing itself into the fat tissues throughout the body. Because the fat is not circulated just in your gut, or just on your butt, or just on your thighs, but it's everywhere. You have adipose tissue in every sector of the body. That's very key to understand. So again, just in conclusion, the body needs food to communicate internally and tell and instruct the body of what processes and procedures to continue, or what processes and procedures to discontinue. That is the reason for consuming food. I hope that this video has been helpful. I hope that it answers some questions that were out there regarding the consumption of food. And note that without cellular nutrient communication, things will begin to atrophy. Different cells in the body will begin to atrophy, because it doesn't know whether or not it should continue to manufacture itself or stop manufacturing itself. That's very important. So again, all questions and comments and concerns are welcome, like always. I hope that the video was helpful. I hope that we have a better understanding of why we eat food now, and not just for the consumption of nutrients, but to stimulate the nutrients that are already within our body. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.